All right, so I didn't go through with flying it last night. I didn't want to wreck my drone again. So it's a beautiful day in the morning now, so let's go check out this crater. You wouldn't even know you were sitting right next to a giant crater, but as you can see when I shoot the drone up here, it's quite easy to see the crater. I like that this day had a lot of low-lying clouds. I think the shot here with the drone at the same level as the clouds is really cool. And I actually spent a lot of time just looking at my controller screen and admiring the crater as I slowly panned across it. I probably have like an hour of footage of just me going around this thing, checking it out. I just thought I'd have some fun here with a quick shot flying through a tiny bit of cloud. And this is a shot of the surrounding area. It's pretty much completely flat, except for, of course, the crater, which easily stands out when you're shooting from the sky. All right, I had a bunch of fun flying the drone up above the crater, but now I'm here at Petrified Forest National Park. I'm gonna check this place out. All right, first stop, view of the Painted Desert. Very nice, but also very similar to what I've been seeing for the past couple weeks. Here's a much better view of it. This outlook is probably the best view of the whole place. Looks much better from here. This dude's flying a drone. You're not supposed to fly drones in national parks. I've been so good following the rules lately. And then I see this guy going there and getting all the footage. Damn. But I'm not going to fly my drone. I think a blanket ban on all drones across all national parks is definitely extreme overkill, especially when you're on like an outlook like this. There's no harm in flying a drone up high to get a nice good shot. But with that said, I'm still going to follow the rules and I won't fly mine out. I feel like I've visited so many really great places and I've got a lot of good shots from places where I am allowed to have drones. It just would be nice if, you know, maybe they put a few more drone rules in place for these parks so you could fly with certain rules rather than just not fly at all. I know most of the state parks allow you to fly with rules, so it'd be nice if the national parks did that as well. Checking out some old ruins here of these Puebloians. Looks like someone had a house here once. I don't know, 500 years ago, something like that. Another house over here. Well, these are just the foundations. Some more foundations. Somehow, I don't think that house is part of their ancient village. Hey look, there's some petrified wood down there. Hopefully I'll see some of that up close soon. Just doing a short 1 mile long trail now, down into this canyon of blue and purple. Cool, my first up close glimpse of this petrified wood. Really cool stuff. Essentially wood that's so old that it fossilized, turned into rock. I wonder if you tried to chainsaw this wood, what would happen? I imagine it would either shatter your blade or shatter the rock. I think these cliffs are starting to look a little more purple and bluey to me. Just need a video filter here, I guess. Bring out the saturation. This little chunk of it right here. It's pretty cool. It's heavy. A lot heavier than an old chunk of wood would be. It's essentially a rock. A log of petrified wood that's gone across a gully. I think this would be a lot cooler if they didn't reinforce it with concrete below. This is called Jasper Forest. Tons of blocks of petrified wood scattered everywhere. This is a crystal forest where you get up close to a lot of these big logs. Here's some info about when this was an actual forest with trees and dinosaurs millions of years ago. Look at the colors on these things. Crazy. It just feels like rock, but slightly like wood on top. I mean, it is rock, so should feel like rock. It's crazy to think that hundreds of millions of years ago, this was entirely forest. And then all these trees here fell down, got covered in silt, and then millions of years later came back to the surface as fossilized wood. Definitely looks like somebody came by with their stone cutting chainsaw and just sliced all these pieces up. Here's a really cool long log. It's a whole tree here. This is why that one that was hanging over the gully never would have survived without the concrete reinforcements, because these things all break up. Oh, that was really cool. Found a log with a hole in it, finally. I'm gonna go check out these big logs up here. It's probably the biggest one here. It's got almost down to its roots here. And at the end of the journey through this park, made it to the visitor center on the other side. It's got a lot of cool dinosaur stuff, geology, other fun stuff. Pretty nice.
She's like $75.
Where is that map? There. It's the one on the same. So this will go into like the actual details of petrification, how it formed, kind of like how it crystallizes over time. But as you said, it's very technical. You're going to keep it at a very scientific level of terms, but it's, I wouldn't say difficult.
On the hard rock. All right, Josh, have a good rest of your day. See you later. Drive careful. I don't think that's a real no.
So I really actually enjoyed that park. The park itself isn't too great, but it was nice to see something different. Just to see all those fossilized trees was pretty cool, I think. So anyways, right now I'm going to head on down to Tucson, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get a waterfall hike in. So there's a lot of landscape changes between here and Tucson, and I wasn't in quite a rush, so I decided to shoot my drone up at various points just to get an idea of what I was driving through. It's just a cool little flooded pond area with some cattle that I found off the side of the road. This part reminded me of a lot of the rock I've seen on most of my trip, except now it's covered in green. And I just thought it looked very lush and calm. This area here has a lot of these green trees, which are a lot brighter than the surrounding trees. And you'll notice that there's a river sort of flowing around them. And I thought it was really cool that because these trees here, they get extra water compared to the other trees, they actually grow quite a bit greener. And you can see here from the overhead shot, it's very noticeable. Look at this scenic view here, right on the side of the highway, Highway 60. This is better than the Grand Canyon right here. And honestly, it really was. It wasn't as deep and long as the Grand Canyon, but just the cool rock formations and the lush greenery around it. To me, in my books, this is just a way better place to spend my time. Kind of looks like the setting you'd find in like a Tomb Raider or Uncharted game or something. I just feel like there's a cave or a tomb or, you know, some sort of adventure waiting to happen there. And I suddenly came across this barren, spooky landscape because, well, it looks barren. There's actually quite a bit of like dead trees in it. I don't know if there was like a forest fire or these trees died some other way, but I figured I'd get the drone down low and just fly through them. Here's some spooky music for maximum effect. Either way, it's very interesting and a different landscape, so I definitely had fun flying over here. Look at all these giant cacti. I mean, I'd seen pictures of these things. I didn't realize they were this big. These are like full-blown trees. There's whole mountainsides of these things. I was so fascinated by these giant cacti and excited to see them that I shot the drone up just before it got dark to see if I can grab some footage of them. With the sun setting, it turned out to give out some really good lighting here to help showcase what these cacti actually look like. And I just slowly flew the drone up the mountain and got my first glimpse at them. This footage is sped up 2x right now. I can understand, as soon as I open my windows, I can understand why these cacti grow here. It is so humid out, it is ridiculous. I think it's like even humid in the car here now because like it's fogging up my camera lens. This is really gives me this tropical vibe when I'm down here. I'm on some dirt road now, just trying to like get to a trailhead so I can park and go to sleep and have some quiet. And the insects that are out here is just insane. There are so many insects around. I keep seeing all these bats flying in, taking them out. It's so cool. It reminds me of when I was a kid because the worldwide insect population has been on the decline for the past 30 years or so. And where I'm from, there's hardly any insects at night. But here, there just seems to be a ton. And I also just saw like a huge owl in the middle of the road. And as I got in, it just sort of flew away. Too bad I didn't get that on film. I'm seeing mice and all sorts of other creatures out here. This is really cool. One of the millions of moths out tonight, which will probably get eaten by a bat later. The most insane lightning storm is happening in the distance. It's a shame my camera can't really pick up what it looks like, but it looks absolutely phenomenal. And the stars just look incredible right now, which you also can't see on this camera. I don't normally like driving at night, but when it got dark, I was in that canyon there, and the humidity was just insane. And if I had stayed the night there, I just never would have fell asleep. I knew that. So I drove further to Tucson, and it's 18 degrees now instead of 25, and I can feel that the humidity is like not so bad right here. So I'm gonna go to sleep and then see if I can get to this hike in the morning. I'm hiking to Seven Falls in the Catalina Mountains here, and I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to hike it today, because if you look over here, you can see my sunshine ends right up ahead, and there's quite a few storm clouds there in the mountains. So I'm not sure exactly where this trail leads, but I don't want to get caught in the mountains in the rain. So we'll see. Alright, first obstacle, a river. And there are supposed to be a bunch of river crossings through this hike, so I'll be getting my feet wet. Oh, so that river was slightly deeper than I thought it was going to be. You can see the water went up to about here on me, but I'm over the first river. Hopefully there's not too many of those rivers coming up. I really like these big cactuses here. I'm going to touch one. I want to see if it's prickly. Oh yeah, it looks pretty prickly. I thought maybe it was going to be one of those fuzzy cactuses. This cacti here has flowered. Of all the weird shapes some of these cactuses come in, it'd be nice to see somebody come by here with a bunch of giant googly eyes and pin them to some of these cacti. A second river crossing. But this one looks a lot shallower than the last. So I don't need a stick or anything to cross this one. Cool, I came across a little cave here. And it's got some 21st century petroglyphs. Apparently this is a work of art by Leo. Alright, just finished the last water crossing, so I should be at the falls soon. And there we go. 7 falls. Seems to be quite a few people there. It's surprisingly not very deep here. Well, it looks like everyone left. I got the falls to myself now. I'm gonna try launching the drone and see if I can get some good footage of the whole set of falls here. So this is the main shot going up to check out all 7 falls. And right here, I'm just trying to keep the drone as close to the waterfalls as I can without actually getting too close to the mist or the water because, you know, this drone is not waterproof and I don't want to lose it here. The water's pretty dirty looking, but it's still quite impressive just to see these waterfalls one after another, and with these pretty calm pools underneath each one, so you could theoretically go swimming in all of them if you wanted, as long as you hiked up along the rocks at the side. That was definitely a super fun trail. I would recommend it for sure. I found a mix of experienced hikers and some people who just had no idea that river crossings were a thing. Overall, I'd say it reminds me of this hike I did in Chile called El Diablo. Very similar, except this has waterfalls at the end. So if you're ever in the area, definitely check this out. I wanted to get a shot of the main valley I hiked up on the way out, but there was something wrong with my drone here. The lens wasn't auto-focused. So, I mean, you can still see pretty cool landscape here, but it's a little blurry. But just in a second here, it's going to suddenly switch to clear focus. And luckily for my entire trip, this is the only time this happened, because you can't really tell that it was out of focus when you're looking on the controller, and it could be devastating to get some epic footage and then realize later when you get back to the computer that it was out of focus. Check this out. It's a coyote right here.
That was our goal for the year, is to get as many as we can.
This is the coolest terrarium I've ever seen. I wish I had one of these in my house.
And teach her to appreciate nature.
So now I'm over here in West Saguaro National Park. It's basically a national park that's divided into two sections on opposite ends of Tucson. And as you can see, it's really gorgeous collection of all these big cacti and other desert life here. It's a lot like what I was seeing earlier, but I guess more touristiized. There's lots of like groomed trails and a scenic loop that you can do with your car. This is a very useful guide for all the plants I've been seeing and the animals I haven't been seeing. It is the Valley of Cacti. Well, that's not what it's called, just what I call it. I've really enjoyed my time here in the desert among the cacti and listening to all the sounds and everything. But my one disappointment is I haven't seen a desert tortoise. That's what I really wanted to see, and nothing. But I knew it was on the premium animal list, you know, along with like rattlesnakes and stuff. So I thought maybe I could get lucky, but it seems like I haven't been lucky. But that's okay. I did see a snake earlier today, but it wasn't a rattlesnake, just some loser snake. So not the same. But I know these animals are out here. I just got to keep looking for them. Look at this crazy lightning storm that's just about to roll on top of me. I was hoping to park here for the night and go to sleep, but I have a feeling in about 10 minutes from now it's going to be windy and rainy beyond belief. I don't think this storm is going to last longer than an hour though, so I might be able to just sit in my car and wait it through. But I'll probably want to move away from this tree here because it's looking like it could get pretty violent and I don't want anything falling on my car. What the heck is this thing? that a scorpion? Hey! Stop! I was able to grab a lot of footage for this whole valley, and it's absolutely spectacular.